My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Your neighborhood just got cooler with Kroger Delivery's refrigerated trucks. Simply order groceries at the same great prices online as in-store, and we'll bring them to you fresh every time. And if that wasn't cool enough, you can now earn 4 times the fuel points after 4 with your digital coupon. Choose a next-day Kroger Delivery time slot for 4 p.m. or later on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Must deliver by February 4th. Restrictions apply. See Kroger.com for details.
Be honest. When's the last time you had a homemade meal? We get it. Between meetings, workout classes, and the kids' after-school sports, who's got time to cook? That's where HelloFresh comes in. No matter how busy you get, HelloFresh has everything you need to get an easy, home-cooked meal on the table. With flavor-packed recipes like Parmesan herb-crusted salmon, you'll be filling your kitchen with the cozy aromas of a homemade meal in no time. So go ahead, try HelloFresh. It's homemade, made easy. Learn more at HelloFresh.com.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Komm du noch?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Super Bowl! What is going on, everyone? Eagles get the W, 55-23. They cooked Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. We are heading to New Orleans. Joining me, he is Shane Happ at Shane Happ NFL on X. What's up, Shane?
Man, what a game. What a second half. What a defense. What a team. I love that Washington is burning timeouts while losing by 25 points against the Eagles backups, and then Will Shipley just cooks them for a 50-yard run and scores his first career touchdown. And wouldn't you know it, Saquon Barkley's the first guy there to congratulate him out of the pile. Love this team, man. So much fun.
Somewhere Ryan Reese is down at the game saying, "I told you so" about Will Shipley.
I wish Kenny Gainwell got that touchdown just to mess with Ryan.
Me too. Guys, we're going to have some guests joining, of course. It's going to be a longer postgame, as always, with the Eagles heading to New Orleans. If you're watching us live, give this video a like if you want the Eagles to win in the Super Bowl. Marshawn saying, I don't even know. I think he's had too many drinks in this one. Kellen Moore had a hell of a game in this one. We'll get into that. NFC champs, Reddit clips. What's going on? Thanks for joining. Will freaking Shipley. Ship happens. My gosh, I'm not going to read that. Kamar, let's go. We did it, guys. This is it for you guys. It's a party on Broad Street tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Shane, this is I don't even know where to go. It was an amazing performance from the offense, an amazing performance from the defense, 7 rushing touchdowns. How many takeaways? Everyone stepping up seamlessly on defense. Let's start with Jalen Hurts before we get some of our Rob and David joining into this thing. 20 of 28, 246 passing, a touchdown, but he also had 3 touchdowns on the ground. That drive where he made the Commanders defense look absolutely ridiculous on those tush pushes was just an amazing moment. How many times have we seen Jalen Hurts audible into big plays in the playoffs? I thought Jalen Hurts, top to bottom, yeah, he holds on to the ball for too long at times. Whatever. I thought top to bottom, this was a great Jalen Hurts performance. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a really good performance by Jalen Hurts. His time, he was getting the ball out. We were getting to check downs. We were scrambling and throwing the ball away. I mean, Hurts only took 2 sacks in this game, and that's despite the fact he was pressured 10 times. A pressure to sack rate of 20% for Hurts is phenomenal. Like, that's one of his weaknesses, is taking those sacks. He was determined not to take the negative plays. They pushed the ball downfield vertically. He was 3 of 4 passing over 20 air yards. That's an element of their game that has been lacking down the stretch. Jalen Hurts was awesome in this game. Absolutely awesome.
Yep.
I can't wait for the narrative to go from Jalen Hurts can't pass to, well, if you switch Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels teams, ... because that's where we're headed. That's what we're going to hear now.
Yeah, you remember when the Eagles had 5 turnovers and Kenny Pickett couldn't do shit? All day, Jalen Hurts delivered in the red zone all game long, and the Eagles rolled the Commanders, cooked the Commanders 55-23. All we heard from the national media was Jaden Daniels this, Jaden Daniels that. And he was very solid. Don't get me wrong, his poise, it's real. We'll see how it looks in year 2. As rookie quarterbacks have shown this kind of immense poise, and then things get a little different in the second year. Jaden Daniels is legit as they come. He's made countless 3rd down, 4th down plays in this one that were terrific. But Jalen Hurts outperforming, I thought Jaden Daniels was one of the top takeaways from this game. Did Kellen Moore seriously call a Dallas Goedert run to put on tape? We saw a couple of those.
He called it more than once. It was
I love that play, Shane. Did we? I don't think we've seen that all year. Have we?
No, they ran 3 jet sweeps in this game. They had one was a pop pass to Devontae Smith, and 2 that were from under center to Dallas Goedert. And it makes sense. Like, they love to get the ball in Goddard's hands on screens. We could talk Kellen Moore and the fact that he finally showed up and put a competent game plan in place. That's nice. Kellen Moore was awesome. The offense, this Eagles scored 8 touchdowns. 73% of their possessions resulted in touchdowns. Sheil Kapadia put this on Twitter, but this is the 11th best offensive performance by any team in a game this season by EPA and success rate. So, incredible performance by the offense, and doing it against the Commanders just makes it that much better.
Absolutely. This game will be remembered for a long time. I personally thought this would be a field goal game, like a 24-21 Eagles win, but 55-23. Just so happy for Jalen Hurts. Number one, just so happy for Nick Sirianni, Shane. We're talking offense and Jalen Hurts. Like, Nick Sirianni crying, hugging Howie Roseman has to be one of the most feel-good moments of the season, if not the most feel-good moment of the season. I have been very critical of Nick Sirianni. I'll be the first one to admit it. He wasn't even in the top 10 for voting Coach of the Year, and major shout-out to Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, Sirianni has done a good job this year. I was really skeptical of him. My phone's lighting up because I said a word that started with S that sounds like something else, but I got it before it chimed in this time. But I was really skeptical of him going into the bye week. I mean, I think he played a major part in one of those losses pre-bye, but the way that the team played down the stretch, I mean, they won every game post-bye except one where their quarterback got knocked out in the first quarter. Like, it's been incredible, and you can't say enough good things about this organization as a whole. But especially, I mean, we'll get to the defense, and the defense has been awesome too, and it's been awesome all year. But the offense to come alive on this stage, that's big, because we've talked about all year, can you win in a shootout if it comes to that? The Eagles showed today, at least against the Commanders, they were up to the task if it came to it.
For sure. Cameron says toying with the Commanders. He's talking about that tush push at the end there. I love that. Have you ever seen the referees call something like that where like if this continues, we will give an automatic score for the offense? Have you seen that before?
No, I haven't. In Madden, if your opponent jumps off sides 3 times, they throw him out of the game and give you the win. So, I mean, we were right there, right? Frankie Louvu's trash. Frankie Louvu's trash. Like, they got him the first time. After that, he was just diving over the pile trying to spear guys in the head. Even at the end of the game, the Eagles have their backups in, just trying to run out the clock, and he jumps off sides trying to get a 15-yard running head start to spear somebody in the backfield. Get that guy. He's trash. Get him out of the league.
That was just a reality check for all the haters out there, just to show how much Jalen Hurts has developed as a quarterback in 2024. Him calling plays at the line like crazy, setting protections, manipulating defenses with his snap count. That was beautiful quarterback play, and I hope people talk about that. I hope people will like discuss this week, because for whatever reason, it's always off the field drama, whether it's A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts or other nonsense. But that was amazing. That was an amazing moment from Jalen Hurts. All Jalen Hurts has done is audible into touchdowns, and he had a phenomenal game today. So major shout out to Jalen Hurts. Outside Max, thanks for joining us. Says total team effort, wellness check for Brian Bumper, our resident Jalen Hurts hater. Was this Hurts' best game since the Super Bowl? It's too early for that. It might be. We'll get to that in a little bit. That Steelers game was amazing. We'll see. I love the design plays to Goddard. We'll get to Dallas Goedert very soon, but my goodness, like, he has been monumental within this Eagles offense the last 4 games. Monumental. I believe there's a 97 percentile performance in EPA per play from Jalen Hurts. He heard the noise. Jalen Hurts delivered. All the haters can, you know what. Noom says, who would have thought we'd have a bigger margin of victory since the 2018 NFC Championship? They're getting handed the trophy. Kellen was in his bag. We'll get to Kellen in a second. Can't wait to catch the facility. They won't be able to – I don't even know what that means. Most points scored by an Eagles team since 2010. Jalen Carter was unbelievable today, as expected. We'll get to that when we get to the defense. Most points scored by a team. Please get – how about Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens? Those guys were gladiators tonight. Major shout out to those guys for fighting in the biggest game of the year. We don't usually talk a lot about the offensive line, but man, those guys were banged up. They fought. They won. Any thoughts on Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens?
Yeah, just real quick to the Super Bowl 2022 question. The Eagles' EPA per play in this game was 3 times what it was in that Super Bowl game, 0.14 to 0.49. So dramatically better performance than the Super Bowl. But for Landon Dickerson comes in and he plays the first half. He allows 0 pressures. Cam Jurgens comes in with a back injury, plays the second half. He did allow 2 pressures, but those guys battling through that. And shout out to Tyler Steen, too, plays the whole game at left guard, allows only 1 pressure. And the offensive line there were some issues. There were some struggles, especially with Louvu timing the snap count. And, we can talk about maybe change up your snap count every once in a while, but the offensive line played really well. And now the nice thing is you've got 2 weeks to get healthy. And so, you hope that, surely in 2 weeks, whatever is ailing Cam Jurgens back, if he was able to come in and play a half of football, you would think he's good in 2 weeks. Same with Dickerson and the knee. So you're in a situation where, barring some sort of practice injury, you should be going into the Super Bowl with 21 of 22 starters healthy. Rest in peace, Nakobe Dean. But Oren Burks, by the way,
rest in peace,
played really well. I'm just continuing the theme. You were talking about him like he was dead last week. So.
To be fair, like, his jersey was being held out of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Anyway, by Nolan Smith. I wish I could go back to the tweets torching Sirianni left. I mean, don't look up any of mine. Just throwing that out there. Jaden dancing after his touchdown. I agree. That was not a good look. That was literally my first thought during that dance. Luvu is actually a good player, but he's a POS. I love it. I hope
he's a great player. He's just a scumbag that tries to hurt people.
Absolutely. And I hope he stays with Washington going forward because I'm really excited about this rivalry going forward. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. Goddard's jet sweeps, more praise on Kellen Moore being in his bag. Who would have gotten credit for the touchdown if the refs were? That's a great question. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't
know. Burks was outstanding. Absolutely. We'll get into Oren Burks, who was probably the unsung hero of this game against a guy like Jaden Daniels, who likes to extend plays on those third and fourth downs. Hope the O-line can get healthy and Gainwell. Everyone else is healthy, right? Another 2 weeks to recover. Should be good. Thanks for joining Tech. As always, Iron Man. I love that, Robster. Thanks for joining. Let's roll on to the Eagles' rushing attack. Talk about tone setting. Shane. Saquon Barkley, made a statement with that massive touchdown run at the start of the game on offense. He finished with 15 carries for 118 yards, a hat trick, 3 touchdowns. I don't even know what to say about this guy anymore. Like I've known you all for a long time, Shane. I was so wrong about the running back position. He's as elite as it gets. He is the MVP. And like my favorite play from Saquon wasn't even a touchdown. It wasn't even a carry. It was the block that set up the Jalen Hurts touchdown run in the second half. What were your thoughts on Saquon?
Yeah, I mean, Saquon's awesome. He's an unbelievable football player. I'm really glad the Giants didn't think so. But he's so good. And like some of the runs that he makes, even some of the ones that just don't pop off, like you watch some of like the 3-yard runs and it's like, man, that should have been a 2-yard loss. Like in this game, he rushed for 118 yards and he was 72 rushing yards over expectation. Like he was making things happen in the run game. I believe he needed 148 yards for the record for most rushing yards in a season. He got 118, so he's only 30 yards away. So Saquon's coming for that record, Terrell Davis. Sorry.
I love this comment. Chase Daniels has got a lot of work to do this week. That's amazing. Hurts, best audible caller in the NFL. He's so good pre-snap, man. He has been making his success rate pre-snap is off the charts, no doubt. Luvu is the new Vontae's perfect. I like that a lot. What's up, Krabby? Thanks for joining. I have not seen Pump Man in the chat yet. Not that surprised. But what if KC wins, but Mahomes gets hurt? Real quick, Shane, who do you want? KC or Buffalo? I want Buffalo.
Bills.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The Bills, and it's not even close. I'm so sick of the Chiefs. The Bills. The Bills are a better matchup, and also just heck with it. Get the Chiefs out of here.
Yeah. Saquon's block on that Jalen Hurts touchdown run was epic, man. That's going to be one of my favorite plays of the year. He can be a 3-down back for sure. He has not let up whatsoever. Barkley healing my Chip Kelly training shady trauma. Chase Daniels is also on the I don't even know what that is. I guess I my head's in the sand. It just feels like Saquon is the main character in the movie this year. He's been amazing, man. Total team player. My man Anthony is crying. Oh, no, he's saying Pump Man is crying. And all right, let's roll on we're not going to go forward until we talk Will Shipley. 4 carries, 77 yards, Shane, and a touchdown. I mean, this offensive line was eating. The Commanders somewhat waved the white flag there in that fourth quarter.
No. They called timeouts to keep this game going. And then Will Shipley ripped off a big run.
All right. I mean, Will Shipley doesn't have that top end gear, that second level speed to get in the end zone, but kind of a glimpse of things to come, right?
Yeah, Will Shipley had almost double the EPA that Saquon Barkley had in this game, by the way. So WIP tomorrow is about to be like running back controversy in Philadelphia. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, good for Shipley, right? He's been out there. He hasn't got a lot of reps this season offensively, but he forces a fumble on special teams. He ends up ripping off, and the big runs were, I mean, they're not meaningless to him. They were meaningless to the outcome of the game, but good for him getting some live game reps and breaking a big run and then ended up scoring the touchdown. And I love that Saquon Barkley's the first guy to meet him in the end zone. Just such a team player. They all are. Like, I mean, Saquon rips off that huge touchdown run earlier, and AJ Brown's the first one running up to him. I just love this team so much. Yeah,
this is a lovable team. Saquon and Jalen both getting hat tricks on the ground, and then Shipley getting his touchdown. That was poetic. 7 rushing touchdowns, Shane. Like, this is historic. This is a historic game that we're going to remember for a long time. Just the rushing offense was top to bottom terrific. With Gainwell, I know he got hit pretty hard there, and he's been really good in the playoffs all season long. He's been incredibly improved. And then Dallas Goedert being involved in the run game. I want to see more of that. I don't know. I think you said we haven't seen that all year. That was a great play. 13 yards on 2 attempts. Like, this is a weird game where usually I can pick a few things to get upset about. This is pure dominance. The Washington Commanders got cooked on the ground. As we talked about, this was the big theme of the entire week when everyone was gushing, rightfully so, about Jaden Daniels and all of the amazing moments he had in the 2024 season. But the main take should have been the Commanders stopping the Eagles' ground game. 7 freaking touchdowns. It's wild, man.
Yeah. The entire offense. And it goes back to, Kellen Moore called a good game. And this is the kind of things that I was like, if you go back and watch my stuff with Johnny in the offseason, when we talked about the Kellen Moore offense, we talked about the jet sweeps and we talked about the rollouts and how he likes to get his quarterbacks on the move and how he likes to attack up the seams. And we haven't seen it much this year. And he unrolled it here. And like, it gives you a lot of hope for a year or two with this guy, because again, it looks like he's going to be back. And I was saying, I was talking with Johnny earlier this week, and I was like, if he's back, I think that's good, because, the biggest issue last year was no answers to the blitz, and he's checked that box. The next thing is, let's get to checkdowns and stop taking sacks. And we saw Hurts make a concerted effort to do that this game. We saw running backs sitting over the ball. Like, there was a lot of things that I wanted to see from the offense all year that came out in this game. And so, shout out to the offense, just continuing to get better, and hopefully they're heating up at the right time.
We have Pumpman has officially joined the chat saying, I can't even hate on Hurts. He was clutch, rooting for the Bills. I fully agree. We're all rooting for the Bills. Daniels could have easily had 3 interceptions today. One by Darius Slay, one by CJ Gardner-Johnson. We'll get to the defense momentarily. Just phenomenal. John says this felt like the most Kellen Moore-ish game of the season. I'm excited to see him build off. This was the most Kellen Moore game, ironically, I feel, since the Green Bay Packers game in week 1. Like the majority of the Eagles offense was getting the ball out fast to A.J. Brown on the sideline, getting the ball out fast to Devontae. There were some frustrating times for sure. There were times when I wanted to run Saquon more. But overall, man, I just give this offense so much credit. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, now you wait to see who your opponent's going to be, and you gear up to do it again in 2 weeks. But the counter things that they were able to show in this game gives you a lot of hope because, Jalen had the line about people want to stop Saquon Barkley, and he says, well, they try, and everybody's tried and nobody's been very successful, but it makes it so much harder when you do have those jet motions to stress defenders or defenses horizontally, and you're willing to go under center and do that play fake and roll out. It just adds so many more stresses to the defense. So I hope we continue to see that built out, and they'll have 2 weeks to get ready for it.
Kellen Moore will pull out the Boise State Statue of Liberty next week. He was teasing it. I'm not gonna lie, like that. I can't wait to rewatch the Dallas Goedert handoffs. I want more of that. That is awesome. Tackle the quarterback like a running back. They wanted. Oh my gosh, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I don't think when he said tackle the quarterback like a running back, he meant like they didn't tackle Saquon Barkley on several touchdown runs in this game. So
how many missed tackles did Saquon have? I have to know that.
I'll look it up for you.
Yes, I mean it's got to be astronomical. He only finished with 118 yards.
5 missed tackles forced.
All right, you could easily like double that, and I feel like that would make more sense because I feel like Saquon had so many great moments in this one.
Washington only missed 6 tackles all game, and 5 of them Saquon forced.
Again, double that because there were so many times Saquon made him look silly. Ruben, thanks for joining. Washington defensive coordinator was yapping, and then Hurts, getting 3 touchdowns on the ground. I feel like that was personal, just a little bit, Shane.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right. Stupid thing to say when you have a running quarterback. All right. Yeah, I agree, Ruben. Absolutely. We just talked about Kellen Moore. Let's get to the Eagles receivers. A.J. Brown, he's back. 6 receptions, 96 yards and a touchdown with a long of 31 on 8 targets. I mean, we could talk about this all day, but A.J. Brown's terrific. He's the best wide receiver in football, period. But Dallas Goedert, Shane, 7 receptions, 85 yards, making numerous clutch third down receptions over and over and over again, as we have seen in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on the receivers?
I mean, they were great. I think other than the passing game just finally looking good, the biggest thing here is that A.J. Brown looked fully healthy because, there were concerns coming into the playoffs about the knee. And after the Packers game, I was like, I think he looks fine. Like I thought he looked explosive in that game. And then after last week's game, I was like, man, I don't know because it didn't look right. And I was like, but I thought he looked good in the Packers game. And so let's chalk it up to the weather and the snow. And I'm not just talking about the drops. That's not knee related. That's snow related. I was just talking, he looked slow in and out of breaks and things. And today I thought he looked really good. And so that bodes well for the Eagles. If he's fully healthy, this Eagles offense gets so much harder to stop because especially when the Eagles are willing to push the ball down the field, and Hurts turned down a one-on-one go ball to A.J. Brown early in the game. And I'd like to think that they said on the sideline, man, just throw that up. And even if you don't hit on it, it makes teams think about it. And all of a sudden you got to go to split field safeties, and now you open up the running game. And so the best thing for this running game is a healthy A.J. Brown that you're willing to push the ball downfield outside the numbers too. And if the Eagles can do that, they've got a really good winning formula.
Absolutely. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts being on the same page is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. It's the best duo in football. And then Dallas Goedert against the blitz. He's elite as it gets. We have seen it all playoffs long, and he made clutch plays, yards after contact, over and over and over. I'm not even a big Dallas Goedert guy. I've just been.
I am.
Yeah?
Goddard's a top 5 tight end.
He is, but he doesn't ever be on the football field, dude.
Yeah, that's the issue. he's been beat up at times and he doesn't get the volume. Like if AJ Brown wasn't in this offense, Dallas Goedert would be considered a top 2 tight end in the NFL. He just doesn't get the volume, but he's so good. He's so good as a route runner, as a receiver. Like there's multiple times, even this year, that he just reels in those one-handed catches really easily. He's a good run blocker. He's just not flashy, but he's so good. And he's underrated because of the guys that steal targets from him, and he's been banged up some. I'm not saying the Eagles should not invest in tight end this offseason because it's about time, but Goddard's so good when he's healthy and on the field.
He's elite, and he's just, availability. Every Eagle has been crapped on this year, came out to play. I can't wait to get to the defense. We're almost there. Red Eclipse. Having Dallas come back is such a big deal in the run and the pass game. Dickerson's arm is bigger than Shane's torso. I can confirm that Shane is bigger than me in person. So I'll just throw that out there. Wes says, glad Kellen Moore is coming back. 2022 hurts happen for being in the same offense with Shane Steichen 2 years in a row. Looks like he's coming back. That's my kind of vibe right now. What do you think about the Cowboys hiring young Shotty?
I think the Cowboys are ridiculous. I mean, I don't know a lot about him, but promoting somebody in-house just seems silly at this point, especially since they allegedly really wanted more. And it's like, but we won't wait another couple weeks to interview him again. The Cowboys are a mess. Long live Jerry Jones.
Absolutely. Krabby's in the house. Ruben says, even if that go ball is in a pick, you ended up putting anyway. Does split safeties open up the run game? Saquon is really good against a stacked box. We've seen Saquon just dominate the Rams with a stacked box. Again, this is a reaction. What did you see against the Washington Commanders with Saquon? Any quick reaction to that?
Again, well, I mean, yeah, if the split field safeties means you're taking a guy out of the box, which opens up the run game a little bit more. And it's so hard to defend the run against the Eagles offensive line and Saquon with 2 safeties high, especially if Hurts is a threat to run the football. And they didn't use him a ton as a designed runner today, but they did it enough for me to know that he's okay. And that in 2 weeks, it's going to be all systems go. So being able to force teams to stack the box and open up those one-on-one balls to AJ is so good. It's the winning formula.
So that play on, what was that, 4th down, I believe? There's so many great plays.
That was questionable. I love the go ball to AJ, but 4th and 5 is a little questionable for me. It worked out, but man, that one was a little scary.
And just to piggyback off of Kellen Moore, there are so many times this season, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, in big situations where there were like, just push it 2 times in a row. Just do it. And they didn't. And tonight they did it, Shane. Like that, I was all on board with kind of the game plan whatsoever. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, my thoughts are a little bit everywhere right now. What was the question again?
just like, stop being cute with the football. You just push it. If you're 3rd and 1, just get the 1st down. Like that doesn't need to be that complicated. There are so many times when this Eagles offense, I feel like Kellen Moore's playbook is so wide that he kind of goes away with what's working on the field. And I feel like they saw it and they did it.
Yeah. I don't hate like not pushing on 3rd and 1 because it's such a high percentage play. If you're willing to push it on 4th and 1, like that's why I liked the fake push vertical ball, because you just come back out and push it on 4th and 1 anyways. I mean, the only time it was stopped in this game was when they went for 2, and that was a full yard, and usually it's inside of a yard. So I actually kind of like trying to pop something big. The thing is, you just can't take a loss. People will be upset if you drop back on 3rd and 1 and take a sack, or if a run gets stuffed and you're out of tush push territory. But generally, I like trying to take a shot or something on 3rd or 2nd or 3rd and 1.
Yeah. All right. T. Grant chimes in saying Goddard is money with the ball. We just fail at getting him the rock. He plays a ton of snaps when he's healthy. I agree. He just needs the ball more. Dallas is top 5 when healthy. I love Sirianni's response to Kellen taking an interview. We'll get to that probably this week. Guys, one more time, if you're watching us live, please be sure to like and subscribe. Whether you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like button. Help us out. Help us get this show to more audiences, as well as Twitter or X. Please be sure to follow us. We put out Eagles content every single day. So if you like the Eagles, if you like Eagles wins, give this follow. Give this Twitter account a follow. My voice is about to go, Shane. This is a problem.
Let's get over to the defense.
Let's get to defense. Here we go. All right. I don't even know. The defense was outstanding, making big play after big play, takeaway after takeaway, capitalizing with touchdowns over and over and over again. Zach Bond finished with 12 tackles in this one. He had 10 tackles after the first half. He was phenomenal. Oren Burks was one of the biggest question marks coming into this one, with Jaden Daniels and his ability to make defenders miss in open space. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I don't even know.
7 defensive stops for Oren Burks.
Oren Burks might be my player of the game when we get to the nitty-gritty here. Jalen Carter was phenomenal over and over and over again.
8 pressures for Carter.
Jesus Christ. Jalen Carter was terrific. Quinyon Mitchell, that's back-to-back interceptions, right?
Yeah, 0 interceptions in the regular season, 2 in the postseason.
By the way, the hands he had to have, the concentration, Shane, to make that play. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin lined up against Quinyon Mitchell on 36 routes in this game. He was targeted 4 times, and he had 1 catch for 7 yards.
Crazy. Cooper DeJean was involved in big plays. I'll throw it to you, man. Where do we go with the defense?
I mean, it was just phenomenal across the board. The forced fumbles is huge. Like, you punch out the ball 3 times. You recover all 3 of them. Those are huge in this game. And so I think it was Oren Burks punched one out. Who punched the other one out? I can't even remember now.
Oren Burks.
No, I said him. Who got the other one out? Somebody else punched one out. It's slipping in my mind who it is. Somebody in chat will tell us. But you get two guys punching out the ball. You get the special teams fumble too. So the Eagles were on the ball. They were. Was it Jalen Carter? Was it Bond? I don't remember. Anyways,
no, Zach Bond recovered. No, it was Zach Bond. You're right.
Bond punched one out and Burks punched one out, and Bond also recovered one, I think is what it was. But yeah, I mean, it's a ball hawking defense, and you can say that's luck. Matthew Stafford and Kyron Williams botching the exchange in the snow is luck. Like, this is something that's been intentionally coached. We've seen it. These guys are punching the ball out all the time. They're very good at it. And it pays off huge here. And buying those early possessions makes a huge difference. And I thought the pass rush did a really good job of maintaining rush lane integrity on Jaden Daniels, pressuring him, but not giving him an outlet, a way to get away. I mean, he was under pressure 19 times, and they forced him to throw it 13 of those 19 times. And he's a guy that wants to get out and he wants to scramble, and they sacked him 3 times. So what's that? He had 3 scrambles, I guess, off of 19 pressures. He was 5 of 13 when pressured.
48 yards. He had like 90 yards in that week 16 matchup.
Yeah. So they did a really good job on Jaden Daniels, I thought. And, the first drive, you're nervous, energy and stuff. And there was a lot of angst on Twitter as they went on that drive. And, I was saying at the time, when it takes you 18 plays to go kick a field goal and you have to convert a pair of 3rd and 6s, a 4th and 5, and a 4th and 2 just to get a field goal, that's not sustainable. And so the Eagles just need to keep doing what they're doing, and it's going to come. And the Commanders' early down success rate was only 36%, 18% on running plays. They forced the Commanders to be one-dimensional, and they forced them into 3rd and medium situations. These weren't 3rd and 1s. It was 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. And they executed. And it was just phenomenal job by the defense all the way around.
It's funny, too, because you know what my take was when the Commanders went on that huge series with their first offensive possession where they went like 14 plays. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. But like that was a win for Vic Fangio to kind of A, hold them to 3 points, and B, kind of get what they're trying to do on offense. That was kind of the storyline of what we saw this entire game is, the bend don't break defense is maybe one of the more frustrating defenses in the NFL, but it works. It freaking works. They held the Commanders to 23 points. And like there were times when there were lapses, but overall, I'm just so impressed, whether that's Zach Bond being the all-pro that he is. God damn it, just please come back to Philadelphia this offseason. I would be devastated, Shane.
He's going to be back. He'll be back.
He has to be. Like he's going to
I think the Nakobe Dean injury virtually assured that.
It's him and Jalen Carter. Like those are my guys. Like I cannot fathom the thought process of those two not being a Philadelphia Eagle. But anyway, look at this, man. I mean, they held only 2 red zone attempts for the Commanders. 1 of 2, absolutely phenomenal. The Eagles were 7 of 7 in red zone. That's insane.
You want a fun stat?
Yes.
Nolan Smith has 34 pressures in his last 9 games. In his previous 27 games, he had 21 pressures. That's insane.
All right, let's talk Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, where are you at? Where are you at, man?
Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike Big Wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
I don't even see him on the box score. What the hell? He finished with 4 tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss. He's kind of evolving into the closer that we all remember Brandon Graham being. Is that fair to say?
Let's not put him in the Graham tier yet. But yeah, he's been awesome.
It's the same kind of arc.
Yeah, they've needed him to step up because Bryce Huff can't even get on the field and Brandon Graham got injured and you're playing Jalix Hunt more snaps than you ever wanted to. And Nolan Smith has stepped up his game immensely. And, he was on that right side where Jaden Daniels likes to scramble a lot. I thought he did a really good job of staying home, which is maybe annoying when you want to go rush the passer and still racking up pressures. So shout out to Nolan Smith. He's had a great second half of 2024.
Yeah, he's arguably their best defensive player in the playoffs, which is insane when you consider how elite Zach Bond and Jalen Carter have been. That's a crazy thought. Completely changing the script, changing the narrative of what the Eagles do in the 2025 NFL draft with their first-round pick and unbelievable edge rusher draft. The class is crazy deep with players, blue chip players all throughout the first round. Ryan saying, will BG be back? He said he would be back for the Super Bowl. I can't even that's honestly giving me making me a little emotional thinking about how he could be. I mean, you're a bad football team when Bryce Huff is playing at the end of the game and making pressures against Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Yeah, we reached the portion of the game where Bryce Huff got on the field.
Unbelievable. Nolan lined up in New Jersey for his sack. Bryce Huff made progress. Buffalo is cooked. I have it on my TV here. There's so much going on right now. Nolan Smith has totaled the most sacks ever by an Eagle in single postseason. That's insane. Man, major credit to these young Georgia Bulldogs, man. Howie Roseman found something there. Keep it rolling in 2025. Shane, should we get to player of the game?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get to player of the game, guys. If you're watching us live, please comment who you thought was player of the game. Shane, go ahead.
And you could go so many different ways with this one, but I'm going to give player of the game to Jalen Hurts. Stepped up, silences the critics, 20 of 28 passing for 246 and a touchdown. He only took 2 sacks. One of those was just a blown up play immediately. I can't remember what the other one was now. Rushes for 3 touchdowns. Phenomenal day for Jalen Hurts. So give me Jalen Hurts for player of the game.
I very much want to cheat and say Nick
Of course
Sirianni.
you do.
Always.
He's not a player.
I still want to say Nick Sirianni. Like this was, for whatever reason, a season where the Eagles were the best team, among the best teams in football, and wasn't even in the top 10 voted coaches for Coach of the Year. And they just beat the Commanders to go to the Super Bowl 55-23. Major shout out to Nick Sirianni from a guy that has been critical on him year after year after year. So Nick Sirianni, phenomenal. I got to go Dallas Goedert. Give me Dallas Goedert. I thought Dallas Goedert has been the safety valve for Jalen Hurts. And he's a guy that we've been very critical on as well. He had 7 receptions on 85 yards. And he's kind of becoming the glue of this offense. And I don't think anybody expected that, honestly. So you look at the wild card, you look at the divisional round, I give major respect to Dallas Goedert, at least in terms of expectations. Just night and day. We've seen Grant Calcaterra with his pass protection. It's very concerning. Dallas Goedert is such an impactful player for the Philadelphia Eagles. Any others you want to throw a shout out to?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys that deserve it. Oren Burks, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell. There's a lot of guys that you could give shout outs to in this one for making huge, impactful plays. It's a whole team effort, total team effort.
Total team effort. All right, let's get to Eagles game in 3 words. I'll let Shane lead us off.
All right, every week we put out on Twitter and ask you guys for your 3-word reactions to the game. You guys can also drop them here in the chat, and we'll see. Put some of our favorites up on the board, but we've got Adam chiming in with soup or bowl. So creative usage of the 3 words there. I like that. Michael Ward chimes in with a Super Bowl bound. I think we're going to get a lot of these. Ryan said, put it together. Dan gave a 1 more win. We got Max tweeting a picture, a selfie from the game that says the link is lit. Sorry, I can't say the. That makes that he didn't say the, and that would make it break the rules. But link is lit for Max. Love that. Love that people are tuning into the stuff from the game. That's awesome. Winston said Super Bowl baby. And then see, here's the thing. So down put Super Bowl bound baby. And the thing is, Super Bowl is 2 words, but I'm going to take it this was a good faith mistake. So we'll read this one on the show, even though it's 4 words. Dan hit us with an explosive run plays, Redbeard with a game ball to the lineman, and then and you start a new start, maybe is how you're supposed to say that. It said one more game. So those were some of our 3-word reactions. My 3-word reaction to the game is going to be finish the job. Like, one more game. Let's go. Let's not repeat 2022 with the letdown at the end. Phenomenal season. I'll remember it fondly forever, but let's go get the W this time around and hoist the Lombardi another time. So finish there we go. Brandon chiming in the chat with the same one. Finish the job. What do you have, Deibs?
I'm going to go Jalen Carter MVP. I mean,
you literally just didn't pick him as MVP, player of the game, and now you're making him MVP?
Yes.
All right.
He is the most crucial part of this defense. Everything starts with Jalen Carter. When he went down with that injury, I think he got the wind knocked out of him. The fact that we have seen over and over and over again what he means to this Eagles defense. And that's that. For me, I'm a trenches guy. Like, I'm a guy that I believe, pressure should start from the middle. We've seen Aaron Donald and what he has said about Jalen Carter. This Eagles defense is number 1 because of everything Jalen Carter does for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you said 8 pressures.
Yeah.
Crazy. He was awesome. He was awesome. And I know he doesn't impact a lot of the box surface stats, but I think Jalen Carter demands so much attention from the offense every single time. And that's going to be the bread and butter, the ticket for the Eagles winning a Super Bowl. I bet it says win one more. Anthony says Jalen Hurts. Or Anthony says Jalen Hurts winner. Kamar says thank you, Joe. Fix 2022's wrongs. I don't understand. What
losing the Super Bowl in 2022? We're gonna fix it.
Well said. My man Tech says Hurts is him. Belt to ass, says Daniel. Jay says let's go Birds. John says that was fun. Jalen does both. Brett Eclipse says championship 50 burger. My man Will Shipley. Nicole says fly Eagles fly. Tech says Kellen no interviews. A lot of people want Kellen Moore to return next season. Play like today in 2 weeks. Did you see Carter hurl block? I don't think I saw that.
I saw that. Yeah, it was a wham block. They tried to wham block him, and he just hurdled the guy. He didn't get in on the play, but he didn't get hit either. I thought that was great.
All right.
I unfortunately didn't get a clip of that one. My stream messed up, but I saw it happen.
All right. I can't wait to watch that one. Thank you, Giants. Rest up offensive line. That might be my favorite one,
Yes.
period. Great one by Cameron. Belt to ass. All right, Shane. We're going to wrap this thing up. Final thoughts. Eagles versus Commanders. Chiefs versus Bills. Go ahead.
Yeah, my final thought is that I'm glad that the Eagles team showed up better than our podcast co-host did. I don't know what happened to Rob and David here, but we were expecting a full house on this one. But Deibs and I, we've got you guys. We're consistent here. We got you guys. Man, my final thought for real is just this team's so much fun. Except for special teams. Special teams isn't so much fun, but offense, defense, they're so much fun to watch. Even the special teams had some good plays today with the forced fumble. Shout out to all of you guys for being along for the ride with us here. The 1,000 of you that are watching live right now, please go subscribe to the Eagles Pinpool Network, wherever you get podcasts. Go listen to this show back tomorrow. It'll be great. We're going to have a lot of content coming your way. this week breaking down this game and then next week previewing the Super Bowl. But it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and I'm glad we get to do it for a couple more weeks here in the lead up to a Super Bowl. It's so much fun. I'm so glad that this is the team that we pull for. 2 Super Bowl appearances in 3 years, 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last 8 years. Couldn't be the Cowboys.
Just amazing. My final thoughts. I'm going to write an apology letter live here. I was wrong about Nick Sirianni. I was wrong. And this was a guy that I wanted out last offseason and made me look silly. So major credit, major shout out to Nick Sirianni rallying the troops and getting this team to the Super Bowl. Just beyond impressive. Beyond impressive. I will always call myself out when I'm dead wrong. And I was dead wrong on that one. So that's my final thought. Guys, we have Eagles content all week long. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, you name it. If you love the Philadelphia Eagles, give this video a like and make sure you smash that subscribe button because we will be covering the Eagles versus Bills or Chiefs. Be on the lookout for that. Shane, one of the best Eagles follows there is on X at Shane_NFL. I am Deibs, Mr. Crockpot. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you at the Super Bowl. I'm not even there yet. Guys, thank you. Stay awesome.